I have always believed the road to excess leads to the palace of wisdom.
I got it bent all the way over here.
Please make your voice be heard.
And I'm leaving society to move out to the country and smoke crystal meth with rednecks.
Maybe you have a different opinion than us. Maybe we're completely wrong, and you are the one lone person in the world that is right.
That's why you're here tonight. Eventually, me and Dave Jarvis are going to Hollywood.
But guess what? Some of us are actually pretty friendly.
Yeah, but most of us suck.
Fine, upstanding young man. Fine, upstanding young man.
Smoke weed.
Good news, Ariel. Mylanta has been discovered under the Egyptian pyramid. Welcome to Blow Your Brains Out every Wednesday night. I am Rick E. Warden. I hope you are enjoying our television show from the comfort of your living room, computer, or cell phone. And just drive safely and participate in the program right here in the chats, like Awaiting Abigail and Robbie Tats. It's good to see y'all already. Lighten up the chats here on Blow Your Brains Out. Thank you for being here, everyone. Look over to my right, and you can see it is the lovely Ariel of Against All Odds. Yes, and Kitty Cat in tow. Yeah. And of course, the mighty and powerful Dave motherfucking Jarvis.
Life is full of horrible mistakes, and this is one of them. Hello, Brainiacs. This is your weekly dose of, hey, how about you sit on my face and let me eat my way to your heart? We're here to ask the ancient hermetic question, is butt cheeks all one word, or should I spread them apart? It's your boy Dave, here to save the day. And on my far right, folks, he smokes on the mic like Smoking Joe Fraser. The Hellraiser is Ricky Warden with the flavor. And to my immediate right, Ariel the Rebel. She makes more noise than heavy metal. We're back. Insurmountable proof that people will pay more to be entertained than to be educated. They say more money, more problems. Well, I've got no money and a shit ton of problems, all of which could be solved by money. But so what if I'm not sitting in the lap of luxury? I'm perfectly happy where I am, on the bony knees of nothing. And yet, at the heart of it all, I'm a simple man. All I've ever wanted was an honest week's pay for an honest day's work. I can't remember the rest, but your mother's a whore. And here is today's clickbait. On this date, in 1948, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith was born. He went on to belt out some of the greatest songs in rock and roll history, headlined some of the most incredible bills in North America, and drunkenly fell off stages I could only dream about drunkenly falling off of. Oh, Stephen, every moment spent with you is a moment we treasure. I believe I speak for everyone at BYBO when I say, in local news, Celestial Lamour is looking for a bassist. Alternative rock band out of Fort Worth, Celestial Lamour. Once again, their beloved bassist had to move on because of scheduling conflicts. They're looking for a bassist aged 20 to 35. They have a show this Thursday, which is tomorrow, at the Post in Fort Worth if you'd like to see them live. Hit up Luis Lopez if you are interested. And now, to spend some quality time away from my family. With that, please welcome to the stage Red and the Rebels. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Great.
How's it going?
Great to be here.
Wonderful. All right, for those that are not in the know, North Texas, this is Red and the Rebels, ethereal rock and roll Americana from the heart of Texas, way down in Austin. You can check them out at redandtherebels.com. And if you were fortunate enough, they just played Jester King Brewery in Austin on Sunday. How was that show?
We were actually talking about how that was one of our best shows since Prince joined the band. So very well, we'd say.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a solid crowd, and it's really nice afternoon, 1 to 3, 2-hour gig, perfect time, to just kind of have some fun on stage, and have a cat hair in my mouth. Sorry.
I feel that.
Yeah, she's lurking on the desk behind the camera. So, but yeah, it was a great show. People were seeming to really dig it, so that's all we can really ask for. And not bad sound we ran our own sound that show. Okay. So we say that was a success for sure.
Did they have sound equipment for you? Did you have to bring all your own stuff?
Yeah, they had the equipment, just no guy.
Gotcha. Sometimes it might be better though, because then you know what you want.
That's what, I was like, that was actually one of the more vocally, for me at least, like comfortable sound environments that I had sang in a while. So, I have no notes here. So shout out to Drew. He was the one he was our sound man. So
Drew really made something out of nothing on that show, because like a lot of venues, the PA is kind of old and it was a little bit dusty and stuff, and we were nervous about that. But it worked great, and we sounded really good, and it was simple. And really, you couldn't improve upon it. You could have a fancier PA, but the stage sound was great. The sound out front to our fans and the watchers, the onlookers, it sounded great. So you never know what you're going to get in those situations when they have their own PA and no sound guy. So you look around and you're like, this could be fun. But it turned out really good. It sounded great in there.
That's awesome.
Did y'all get paid in?
Oh, go ahead.
Did y'all get paid in free beer?
No, we actually made money.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey.
So shout out to Jester King. They pay their bands. That's amazing. Unfortunately, kind of not a super common thing if you're playing in Austin city limits these days. But they took care of us, so it was great. We did get a tab also. So
yeah.
Of course, I don't drink, so I just stuck with pizza. But
I like pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a grilled cheese. I've never had that at a gig before for a meal.
Yeah, I know. To avoid dairy when I'm singing, it gets all like phlegmy. Ugh.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have to sing.
Are you a hot tea with lemon?
Yeah, I do the throat coat thing definitely before shows. It tastes like shit, but it works.
Yeah.
This feels like the kind of show I can say this on.
Yeah.
This is like, we're very candid, right? That's the kind of vibe I get here.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know what works really well? If there's any vocalists or, anyone watching, what works really well? To loosen up your facial muscles? A vibrator. I absolutely use that on.
Just rub it all over your face.
Yeah. I mean, I clean it first, obviously, but yeah. And it, yeah.
It might help if we borrow yours.
That's funny.
I mean, more power to you.
Man, we were expecting an in-depth interview.
I mean,
no pun intended.
It was totally intended, didn't we?
Yes,
hey, Dave Jarvis, the chats are on fire tonight. So I want to say hi to everybody in the chats. Thank you for being here. We got Dylan Long with Jess 16 and the Chaos Queens. We're going to be playing that song in the show tonight on Blow Your Brains Out Radio. So thank you for being here, Dylan. We've got Awaiting Abigail in the chats tonight. We got Robbie Tats in the chats tonight. Hello, Allison Conley. Found y'all. We are so glad you found us also. And Awaiting Abigail. Oh, yeah, here we are. And then finally, Allison Conley, Robbie Tats, Way, can you see my, and Dylan Long with lots of love. All right, keep the comments coming. Don't promise that we'll get to all of them. You can ask questions to the bands. We'll bring it up, and you can ask those questions. But if you have good comments, you can change the course of the show with that.
Ooh.
Very cool. Well, on top of the recent show at Jester King Brewery, y'all also played recently at City Alchemist. How was that venue?
Oh, that was me. I do solo shows as well. So that was one of the just solo red shows. That's actually a City Alchemist is an occult store that I actually work at. So they've been giving me a monthly residency there for solo shows. So I play there and then read tarot cards for people afterwards. So I'm kind of living the dream. I get to be a professional witch and a musician. So
Sweet.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So, is it like?
Oh yeah.
Is it like the same? Like, is it always like the third weekend of the month, or does it just change up depending on your schedule?
It kind of, well, obviously full band shows take precedence, and we do actually have another Jester King show on April 13th, and that would be my next time at City Alchemist, but unfortunately I'll have to miss that time. But it's usually the second Sunday of every month is when I play solo at City Alchemist.
Man, y'all are busy because y'all also have Nomad Bar in Ruston on the 4th and Austin Beer Garden Brewing Company on April 11th. So you got a packed spring ahead of you.
Absolutely. Yeah, super grateful for that. I mean, this is the busiest we've probably ever been. So really, really happy about that.
How far outside of Austin have y'all gone?
Probably Wimberley is probably the farthest we've gone. We tend to, stick to Austin area venues. We'd love to get down to San Antonio someday. That's where I'm from, so I would love to play some venues down there eventually. But yeah, we this band has such an interesting history because we probably formed at the worst possible time for live music, which was 2019. We played we played like one show before COVID hit. So we spent most of COVID writing our first album and getting that released and everything. And then unfortunately, and then we played for, a couple of years after live music started coming back. And then I got super sick and was out for almost a year, probably over a year actually.
Oh my god!
So yeah, I was ended up getting a kidney and liver transplant. So
holy cow! I was gonna say it must be something serious. You're out that long.
Yeah,
you're doing okay though. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still definitely in recovery. This was just over a year ago. I got my organs, but and I was in the hospital for probably on and off 6 months for that entire time. So it was a lot. Jaundice, lost a bunch of weight. The whole 9 yards, lost all my hair. So it's normally much longer than this, but yeah, so just with all of those things considered, I'm just very grateful that we've got as many shows booked as we do. And they seem to be, they just keep coming. So
yeah, keep playing.
Yeah. It's really good to be back on stage.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know North Texas would definitely benefit from having Red and the Rebels. A couple of venues that I think y'all might do well at. There is the Levitt Pavilion in Arlington. There is Tulips over in Fort Worth. And there is, I'd say y'all probably would do well at probably Club Dada or Three Links over in Dallas.
Nice.
And then And then I think there's a new bar that just opened up in Greenville, which is like way East Texas, called the Hangar Bar. I don't know anything about it, but I know our friends here for now are playing it. So as soon as they get back to us, we will let everybody know if it's a good venue or not.
Nice. When do they play there? Because we play on the 19th of April.
They play this Saturday night. Saturday night with Perceived and Whip Key.
Yes.
Randy with the save.
There you go, Rand.
Thank you, Randy.
So for folks in North Texas that maybe don't venture down to Austin, what is the scene like? I've heard some topsy-turvy stuff going on with South by Southwest this year, and we have our scene, and it's a little more cutthroat, I'd say. So how are things down there?
Yeah, I mean, South by is always an interesting time of year down here. You know, they made a lot of changes this past South by. I heard that was just, you know, kind of came as a shock to everybody. Like they're making the music portion a little shorter. So and unfortunately, you know, I think it is a very competitive scene down here too, as well. But it's, you know, at the same time, there's just so many bands. There's such a volume of performing artists and performing bands and, you know, just solo act of all sorts of different genres too. So there's a lot of oversaturation as well. So I think that plays into the, you know, the perceived like cutthroat nature of this industry, just because it's like, hey, you know, it makes it really hard to kind of bargain for, you know, being paid as well, just because if you won't do it for a certain price, someone else will, you know. So it's kind of, I'd say, a little bit of a lopsided market right now, for lack of a better phrase. But you know, it doesn't really stop us from having a good time, and that's kind of the point, you know, trying to just focus on, you know, playing shows, doing well, writing good music, and, you know, eventually something will, you know, will give, and it does, because it took us forever to get to a point where we're booking. I think we're playing 2 shows in one weekend. I mean, it's, if you had asked us this question, you know, 2-3 years ago, you know, we'd be like, oh yeah, we can't get booked anywhere. But now it's kind of, venues I think are slowly recovering from the COVID and just, you know, this influx of artistry in the city, which, you know, is a good thing, I think, generally. But yeah, it does make it kind of tough to get your foot in the door with a lot of different venues, because that's really how you get in there, is just knowing people, getting on bills with your friends, and then making good relationships with those bookers or managers of the venues. It's a process for sure. But you know, thankfully we seem to have kind of settled into a groove here with some venues. So that's been really good.
It's about like every other big music market, you know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I said
Austin
anything that's too controversial.
Yeah, we've kind of grown up. I mean, Austin, I've been here on and off since 1981, and things were similar. But now, you know, it's kind of like Nashville and LA, everywhere else, where there's so much going on, and there's so many people in line to want to do stuff, that you get that kind of, for lack of that oversaturation, where, you know, people in Nashville would play 3 gigs down on Broadway, and all they're doing is playing for tips, that kind of thing, you know, because there's so many good people and there's so many good bands. So in a way, you're kind of a victim of your own success. Austin is.
Yeah.
And then, you know, with all the movies and that kind of stuff coming in too. So, but I, you know, in the end, people love music here, and there's always going to be a desire to go see people, and people that are really good and catch on and somehow find an audience and stuff, they'll cut through it. It's kind of like it was before, you know. You go make up a bunch of flyers and you just go paper South Congress with them and wherever. And then, you know, now we have all this modern technology that can do it way faster and broader for nothing, you know, whereas before it was all legwork and stuff. So that's really cool about it. But other than that, it's a big market now, and there's just a whole lot going on. But it's still cool. You know, in the end, it's still Austin, I think.
I have to ask about the comedy scene. Have you been down to the Comedy Mothership to check out all that going on there?
A little bit, actually. A really good friend of mine is a up and coming comic, and so I've been to a few of his shows. You know,
Awesome.
And I've actually, fun fact for my tarot readings, I've done a lot of work, like after parties or like happy hour events through Moon Tower Comedy. So pretty, you know, pretty cool to see that that scene growing here in Austin and being another, you know, avenue for creativity and stuff for people. But yeah, I mean, trying to remember, because this is before I got sick, and so now it's like everything's a blur, and I can't remember who I went to.
Thanks for letting me ask you, because we're a music show. I mean, we're entertainment, but we don't really talk about the comedy scene in Austin much, and most people I ask don't really know that much about it. But
yeah.
I'm into comedy, and I watch Kill Tony pretty much every week, and you know, I really appreciate what's happening in Austin right now. It's a comedy revolution. Matter of fact, I was talking to Don Jameson from That Metal Show about it, and he was just texting me today showing his appreciation and saying that he was definitely going to get down there and try to check it out. What's up, Jared of Kill House? All right, so if you find out more about the comedy mothership, hop back on here with us, Deidre, and tell us all about it.
Cool, will do.
I'm also curious about this new influx of Texas-based actors, McConaughey, Dennis Quaid, Renee Zellweger, trying to start the new Hollywood in Austin. Is this something that makes you dread, or do you feel like, okay, this is another opportunity?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing too. I think it can be a really good thing for musicians in general, you know, especially for if you want to look at it from a business perspective and growth perspective, is, you know, movies need soundtracks, TV shows need soundtracks, you know, you need music for your advertising, you need music for everything in film. So it actually kind of makes a lot of sense. I'm kind of all for it and excited to kind of see how that, you know, helps local musicians perhaps make a better living off of their music instead of having to be so beholden to, you know, venue culture and just playing constantly, whereas maybe they can have a little more, you know, of a stable schedule, for lack of a better phrase, with maybe some more royalty or, you know, TV and film, you know, stuff like that. So I think it can be a really good thing.
Yeah. And there's a bunch more new places to film that are cool. Austin is a neat looking place. The hill country surrounding here is beautiful. I mean, you know, now, well, it's been like that for a long time to me, where you're watching a movie, you know, it was shot in LA, you've seen the same place 20 times in different flicks, same thing in New York. So they go up to Toronto and film stuff, or Vancouver or whatever. I think it's neat. You know, we just have more stuff going on. There's somebody supposedly building a studio in San Marcos or something.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be like, you know, a professional movie studio and stuff like that. So you hear about things like that, and that's really neat, you know. And it's great that Texans are spearheading it for us, so to speak.
Yeah.
We're just kind of like that.
That makes it better.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Support your mom.
So tell me, as Austin movie fans, are y'all Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans or Dazed and Confused fans?
Oh, I have to go Dazed and Confused. Yeah.
Office Space, Dazed and Confused. I'm sure I'm missing
Office Space.
A lot of stuff.
Oh, well, Idiocracy. That's classic. Well, at least there's that one. I forget where it was. It was like out where,
yes,
like before the toll
Idiocracy.
road, like, yeah.
We are living it.
Yeah.
But we already were.
I showed that to someone the other day that hadn't seen it before. And I'm like, it's supposed to be funny. And she's like, this is depressing. I don't want to watch this ever again. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Thought we could laugh collectively at our demise as a civilization, but what do I know?
Laugh to keep crying.
Right. We're all laughing together. Well, the great thing about all those movies is that, RoboCop, yeah. That was up in Dallas, yeah. And parts of Zombieland were filmed in Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
The Garland.
But the great thing about all these movies is that all these movies had great soundtracks. And I'm wondering, Rick, do we have any Red and the Rebels lined up for our good listeners to hear? Maybe.
Why, Dave
Possibly.
Jarvis, thank you very much for asking, because I've been thinking, hey, you know what? I bet our listeners would really like to know what Red and the Rebels sound like. So I've got you all queued up right here. Blow your brains out. This song is called Texas Ruins.
Hills and endless caverns got me all up in my head. Never knowing where I'm going. Crystal skies are up ahead. Orange sun on the horizon. I head south to Hidalgo. Gonna find myself and my father in the deserts of West Lacombe. I can hear you begging me, release it all again. Put out the fire, set it free. Your dreams are heaven sent. Haunted creeks and grassy plains, I head east down the Shiner. Gonna find myself and my mother in the ruins of Moravia. I can hear you begging me, release it all again. Put out the fire, set it free. Your dreams are heaven sent.
Thank you for sharing. Very nice tune, and good to know what your band sounds like.
Thank you.
That was lovely. Excellent work on the drums, man. Very good drum work. It's like I was being marched to a really beautiful execution.
I love that.
I'm honored. That's going to come up in practice now.
Yeah, that's definitely how I'm going to describe that song from now on.
That's neat.
So, what goes into a song like that? Like, did it start with the bass line, or did it start with the drums?
Well, I actually I write the lyrics and general chord progressions to most of our songs, and that one started off as just me and a guitar on a demo. I got an idea at like 3 o'clock in the morning, as it always happens, and you know, I was listening to like a lot of folk music at the time, like Emmylou Harris, and just kind of some old folk standards that would be done by like Doc Watson and Joan Baez and like the Carter family. And so I kind of wanted to give that like old school folky vibe, but then combine it with a lot of atmosphere. So I tried to, you know, do what I could with, you know, just me and a guitar to kind of illustrate that soundscape. And then what usually happens is I record it, you know, on my phone or otherwise, and I email it to Drew, who does all of our mixing and production and everything like that. And he kind of, you know, takes it from there. And then we come together as a band and work on, you know, arrangement, if there's any changes that need to be adjusted there, or just overall tones and guitar sounds, which I got to give a shout out to Larry for that song. Like the tones are just perfect. There's no notes, absolutely nothing. You know, so it's definitely a group effort with these things, but they usually all start out with just like me and a guitar, and I send it to the guys and I'm like, okay, work your magic.
That's funny.
That's
what I do.
It's really nice to have, you know, a true songwriter in the band. Basically, we get a finished product or pretty darn close to it every time. Which, you know, I've been in a lot of bands where it's like, okay, I got like 2 chords and then, yeah, I got a piece here. You try to stitch it together, and it's, you know, sounds like it, you know. But you know, Deidre brings a full song or a full idea. It's well fleshed out. The lyrics are done. You know, it's got a concept. So you have a good starting point. You know, a good springboard to use your own creativity, because it's pretty much, you know, it's already done. You know.
It is a fun process in this band, I have to say. You know, I chit chat with other, you know, musician friends of mine, and you know, I think there's moments obviously in the songwriting process, you know, when we're figuring out, okay, what part goes where, you know, what do you want to write for the bridge or do chord wise underneath this. Like there's a lot of, you know, tedious, you know, behaviors that go into songwriting, but it is overall a very fun process, especially with these guys. I mean, there's, you know, it's very easy, collaborative, no drama. Like everybody's just really wants to make the song as the best that it can be. So, you know, definitely, you know, I have no complaints, you know, so far. This is my first band that I've ever really, you know, played with for any extended period of time. So, so far this experience has been fantastic.
Well, that ends now.
We all
We're rebelling.
Damn.
y'all are
now going to
doing
On the blind side.
y'all are doing a fantastic job. Now, everybody has their part to play in the band. So, who is the one that is always late?
We don't have that problem.
We don't really have that
Yeah,
problem.
we don't have that.
Come
We used to
on.
have that problem. It's not a problem.
As long as it's not the drummer.
Right, yeah. The only problem with the one that's not on time.
He's got us anyway because it's at his house.
Like my drummer.
No, that's true. I forgot about that. We
Late.
literally rehearsed at his house, so he can't be late.
Yeah, you know, the whole thing about drummers isn't, you know, they don't have a girlfriend, then they're homeless. Drew isn't. He's got a great little place for us to practice when it's work. I think I drive the farthest. I don't know. I'm practically in Marble Falls, which is way west if y'all don't know anything. But Larry comes up from Wimberley or thereabouts, and Deidre's in North Austin, kind of. So, you know, and 35 is a nightmare. You guys deal with that up in Dallas for sure. I went to college up there, and lots of my family are up there, so I spent a lot of time on that road.
Yeah.
But I'm the new guy, so a lot of the songs on the record I'm not on. Their previous guy was. But he came up with some really cool stuff, and recreating that and trying to keep the vibe is really my main goal on that. And it's been really fun. I mean, they're professionals, you know. This might be Deidre's first band she's ever really sung or played in or whatever, but you wouldn't know it listening to her or talking to her about creating and things like that. It's like she's been doing it for a long time. And Larry and Drew have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, those guys are Hall of Famers in Maryland.
Yeah. They're, what do you call them? Terrapins? Terps? Terps and torps. Drew's in the torps, as it were. That's a nickname for them. But it's been really fun for me to step into a situation where, you know, everybody is so facile and easy to get along with. It's great. You know, there's no struggle or ego battles or any of that kind of crap. It's wonderful. It's really neat.
That's
Hey,
good.
I just want to let you guys know that.
You say you. Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. I just want to let you guys know that Dallas has a thriving woman-fronted scene as well. Ariel being a part of
Very
that.
much
But
so.
there is probably, I don't know, 10, 12 bands out there that have women-fronted metal and all kinds of genre. And
Nice.
it's a great. We support it.
I'd love to break down.
Yay, we love women.
Nice.
You know the Incognito All Stars, Ariel? You heard
I'm
of
sorry,
them?
say that one more time.
Thank you, Randy.
What was that?
Oh, have you heard of the Incognito All Stars up there in Dallas?
Incognito All Stars. The name sounds familiar.
Missy, she's not with them anymore, but they had a front woman, Missy St. Thomas, great entertainer. My brother was in a band with them for a while as well. He's a keyboard player. And, but yeah, lots of great talent up there.
How do you spell it?
Incognito, Incognito. I think it's the Incognito Dallas Fort Worth All Stars.
I commend you for spelling it out loud. I'm a person that I have to write it down.
I was just thinking that. I would have butchered that so hard.
Yes. And oftentimes when I type, my fingers go faster than my brain. And so I always misspell things and press send without even reading it. I'm like, son of a
Incognito.
Yeah.
They're so incognito. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, you're saying it real fast.
Great band.
Incognito. That's
Thanks, Randy, for the shout out. There's a lot of female bands. Awaiting Abigail, which they're in the chats. There's some good friends of ours, and then there's Moonfallen and Among the Fallen. A lot of Fallens. You have From Then On. You have oh gosh, I've just seen them.
Moonfallen.
Just seen them.
Sonic Disposition.
Awaiting Abigail.
Yep, got them. There's so many, which is wonderful.
That's awesome. You know, it's really cool. You know, especially in metal. You know, I feel like, I mean, obviously we're not anywhere close to being a metal band, but yeah, I feel like that is definitely really awesome to see. I don't listen to a lot of metal, but I do enjoy, like, I don't know. I'm one of those people, I can find like a song from any band and probably like at least one song from any artist and enjoy it. So, you know.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's cool is like if you're in a different genre of music, you can listen to other genres and be like, can I do what I do like they do?
Yes.
And invariably, like mishearing a song ends up being a really good song in your catalog.
Yeah, that's true.
Good music is good music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, exactly.
There's crap.
What I was going to ask before I was rudely interrupted by Randy. Rudely interrupted by Randy. I was going to say, y'all play at a house. Do the cops ever get called?
Okay.
We stick to a strict schedule that Drew has apparently worked out with his neighbors.
No,
we're like, we don't get any trouble.
No.
We're good people.
Yeah, use electronic drums. We keep the volume low. We save it for the gigs. Then Larry got the 412 Marshalls and break out the 5Bs and
that would be fun.
The crap out of the drums.
I'll go rent an STV or a SVT for one of those gigs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Of course, it'll probably blow up on me, but it'll be fun for about 10 minutes.
Is there a story there? Or
go big or go home.
Yeah.
For real.
Still got a rig big enough to do that. That's fun. Yeah, it's another interesting subject about stuff like modern music scenes and stuff. So many people go in ears now, and a lot of people don't even have amps,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I can appreciate the simplicity and the ease of setting up and tearing down and all that kind of. It just doesn't feel right to me as a bass player. You know, if I can't feel something behind me, and like the in ears thing, I'm comfortable with it, but still, and that I kind of miss. Like going to club foot and somebody's got a, you know, it was a big club in the '80s, like X and all kinds of really cool bands played down there. You know, people have 412s and they're turned up and it just rocked, you know. And nowadays, your amp might be this big,
Yeah.
you know, and your in ears.
No speaker.
Yeah, you don't have monitors in front of you or anything, and you know, it's just strange. I mean, it works, but you know, I miss those days when everybody had that stuff going on. Although it was cacophony on the stage at times with the monitors, especially singers, because they have to hear themselves, you know, and they want to hear every little nuance, you know, so they can keep their pitch right and all that kind of stuff. So they're usually the loudest monitor. Like I was on the road a long time ago with a kind of a southern rock country band, and our singer's monitor was so loud that the guitar player and I, who sang backup, didn't even need a monitor. We could hear ourselves in his. He was just cranked, you know. And now they're all in ears and they have no amps on stage whatsoever. And everybody plays through Kempers and things. You know, if you know what those are, it's a little lunchbox amp.
I feel like in ears for a vocalist, though, it helps you not strain.
Yeah,
sure.
I was gonna say I do love my in ears, and the guys are always really good about, like, I won't say prioritizing, but really, you know, valuing my ability to hear myself. You know, so it's like if things the stage volume, at least for on our side of things, tends to be very comfortable for me, just because they're very cognizant of, you know, like, hey, singer's got to sing, so. But yeah, we are.
A lot to do with that too. Yeah.
The what now?
Good tone, good sound.
Yeah,
yeah.
So just again, guys are super professional. I am definitely, you know, really grateful to be working with them. You know, it all kind of dumb lucked together. It feels like, you know, because I mean, like, it was really random. We had like was it birthday party or something, Drew? Right?
Yeah.
Was it? Okay, I'm like trying to remember it. I haven't thought about it in a while, but yeah, we met at. It was a mutual friend's birthday party, like jam night thing, and I was drunk and told him I could play keys. I can't, and because he was looking for a keyboard player for a band he was in at the time, and I was like, well, I've had 2 Mick Ultras, so clearly I can defeat God if I wanted to. So let me just lie and say that. I'll figure it out. I don't play keys, but now we do play in a band together where I do other things that are of, you know, equal importance. So it worked out, but
it's a win. It's a win.
It's a win. We'll take the win, right? Yeah.
It's a big W.
Yeah.
Very serendipitous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny. I had left a different situation before, which is pretty fun. And then on a like band site where you find people and stuff, I came across their name, Red and the Rebels. I did not expect them at all. As you can imagine, I thought some redheaded guy with a big beard and, you know, a bunch of brawny dudes playing Southern rock.
What? You mean that's not what I look like?
No, and then I saw the pictures and I went, okay, that's not what I thought. Because when I first saw the name and it popped up, I thought it was something completely different. And then when I saw
clarify, I do act like a big redheaded guy with a beard. Like,
well, I don't really want to see you that.
Other than that, this is who I am.
Yeah. Luckily, we haven't ticked her off enough that she turns into that, you know? Throwing looks and things. No, it was a lot of fun. It was really neat to step in like that and totally pro. Drew, you know, plays drums, but he also sings. So he keeps a handle on all that kind of thing. And Larry knows how to use an amp and a guitar really well. So he's not blasting you out over there. Most of the gigs we played up, I haven't even worn earplugs. There have been a couple of times where I've had to be closer to Drew than I really like without ear protection just because of the cymbals. But he knows how to pull back and everything, speaking to their professionalism, so that you're not getting whacked. And it's not bad, you know.
Yeah.
I've been in other situations where I wouldn't even rehearse with them in a small room without earplugs. So it's really nice to be with people that pay attention to one another. And the sonics are always great. It's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do
A good balance
y'all
sound is
play
working.
to a click?
Yes.
Not always.
They do.
But
I can't ever hear it, but we have pre-recorded stuff that Drew triggers in real time while he's playing and singing.
If I manage
So
to
he's
stay
kind
on
of the
click.
Geddy Lee of our band, you know, only instead of playing a bass and keys and singing and floor pedals and stuff, he's playing drums and triggering things in the beat and singing. It's nuts. Sometimes at practice, I just get goofed up because I'm watching him do it all at one time. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of what makes our sound really unique is we like to explore different and combine different aspects of different genres, right? So, you know, feel how you may about having tracks on stage these days. I know a lot of people get all up in arms about that, but I really, you know, if you listen to the songs like we didn't send them to you, but they're on Spotify and all that. The Wheel, Golden Hour, you know, these are songs that they're solid songs. They tell a story. They're great artistry, if I don't say so myself. But, you know, there's just unique sounds that you can't replicate live, and they still just add a lot of flavor to the song. And we just feel like it would be a disservice to the art to not include as much of that on the recording as on the live show as we did in the recording, you know. So that's kind of our logic there. Also, it's nice to, you know, not have to pay a keyboard player. It's always nice.
I was going to say,
they're usually the loudest in the
so they
band
just stuck with
anyway. Yeah, they're tastefully placed too. I mean, it's not like you have some slamming track that Drew triggers or something. It's always like, you know, a subtle keyboard part or something like that that just adds to the emotional depth of the song and stuff, and not something that, you know, the song would fall apart without. It's just that nice little icing on the cake, so to speak, that adds a little bit more to its texture and its,
A garnish.
you know, emotional context.
Exactly.
A garnish, I
is
like
a
that.
great
Oh,
word
yes.
for it.
Let's get culinary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not real dominant. They don't like take over the song with a life of their own. They're in the back, mostly in the back. They're not dominant, so it works out really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the nice thing about most of our songs is, well, honestly, all of them, they started off as just me and a guitar, you know, like that's it. So any of our songs can be stripped down to a solo acoustic setting and still, you know, hold their own because that's how they were born. So I think that's also something that kind of makes us pretty special, you know, because and it's also a reason why I feel like, you know, we started doing, you know, band songwriting credit, because really these songs, like, yes, I do write the, you know, the general arrangement, the lyrics and the melodies and the chord progression. So that's a huge part of it. But, you know, these songs really wouldn't come to life in the way that they have without the input of everybody else. So it just really just speaks to, you know, everyone's willingness to work together and just kind of, again, like I said earlier, like make the best piece of art that we possibly can. So of course we're going to try to do that justice, you know, because Drew writes some of the coolest like synth parts or, you know, things in songs. I'm like, how did you even come up with that? Oh my gosh. But so it's really fun to, you know, include them, even if it does mean, you know, using an artificial track, you know. But this was a track that was, you know, written and played and made, you know. It's not a sample. It's something that Drew actually, you know, plays out, and we put the track on it, and, you know, he triggers it with, I have no idea how he does it. I have no technological information there for y'all whatsoever. So if Drew wants to weigh in on the process of that,
He's got a stick.
All I see is stick, whack, sound. That's it. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I'm curious, with y'all playing like multiple hour gigs, is there embellishment on the songs? Do y'all experiment live?
A little bit, yeah. With the endings of our more theatric songs, we do like to, close those out, especially depending on where they're positioned within the set list. We recently, that song y'all just heard, Texas Ruins, we kind of started experimenting with a little more of an intro for that to make it a little more coherent with the set, just because, I'm always doing like guitar changes and checking my in-ears and all this stuff. And so, we have started creating a lot more atmosphere in between songs, just so people, it's not such an abrupt, like, okay, song's over, singer has to switch guitars, so it's like radio silence. So I think playing with the beginning and endings of our songs has been really fun and a really great way to kind of improve our live show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no extended Skinner jams.
Yeah, no, not quite that much, but.
Yeah.
Now there's a thought.
I know, I was like, who wants to do Freebird though?
Well, we have some jammies on the outro for sure. For several of the songs.
Definitely
We've got, a great outro that's relatively long for, that particular song, and the motifs for Larry's solo. We're gonna move and change slightly and stuff like that. It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
You're in this little zone and you express most of the song, and then on the end it just kind of takes off and you just play. That's a lot of fun.
And besides that, everybody plays Skinner. Let's hear some ZZ Top.
Right, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's a good
absolutely.
point. Yeah, a little Lagrange.
Billy.
Absolutely. I'd cover Tush. We should cover Tush. That would be a good song.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We can do that. Yep.
No, I still like Just Got Paid.
See, I figured.
Just got paid, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking y'all could do like a more. I was thinking y'all could do a more psychedelic version of Jesus Just Left Chicago.
Oh
yeah.
Done that one too.
That's something.
Add it to their list.
Yeah, seriously, a never-ending list. I'm always constantly sending in the group chat, guys, we should cover this song. And they're like, we don't even play this genre. Why are you sending us Laura Branigan? We don't do that.
The same thing happens to me. I send them Laura Branigan and they don't want to do it.
I'm like, why don't we do Lose Control? It's a great song.
We just make it into your own genre, right?
You know who she is. I always wanted to do It's Only Love.
The Cars as a metal song. Come on.
Hey.
Right.
Oh, we could do Strap Me In.
That's what I need.
Yeah, it's already heavy,
When y'all are playing these long sets, like how many covers would you say it is? Like 60-40, 70-30?
Yeah, I'd say, like 60-40.
Not 70-30. We've got over.
I think it's about 70-30.
Over an hour.
Yeah, I forget we've written more songs since last time I thought about that. So yeah, probably you're right. 70-30.
Speaking of more songs,
You have more?
do you have another?
Are we gonna hear more songs?
called The Valley.
What?
Yes.
Is that a Red and the Rebel song? A song called The Valley?
That is,
Yes.
yeah, that's our most recent one. We put that out a couple months ago.
The latest
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about it before we play it.
Yeah, so this is a super, not to get sappy, but a very special song to me because, I wrote this 2 weeks before I got super sick. It was just, so this is like the last thing I ever produced and wrote from the before, right? And it oddly, I call it colloquially the premonition song because I swear it predicted, I somehow kind of predicted what I was about to go through. I mean, I almost lost my life several times. It was a very bad situation for a long time. I had to relearn how, I was in the hospital for months, had to relearn how to walk. Obviously got 2 new organs, was super sick, all sorts of ulcers, blood transfusions, the whole 9 yards. And so this song really just kind of speaks to making it through, and just kind of gave a name to feelings I didn't know I was going to have until after I wrote that song. So it's kind of crazy, actually. The opening line, I spent 100 days in the valley, I'm free. I actually got discharged from the hospital at my longest point after 100 days.
Wow.
So it was just super weird for any of my spiritualists out there. You kind of, if you know, it's one of those moments where you're just kind of like, okay, there is, maybe everything will be okay. Maybe we know more than we think. So without further ado, that is kind of the inspiration behind the valley.
Yes, Deidre, it sounds like you wrote a song for yourself. Everyone listening, the song is called The Valley.
I spent 100 days in the valley, I'm free. Didn't stop to think of the rocks under my feet. Scrapes and stones and tired bones won't keep me from what I seek. I spent 100 days in the valley for me. The hands of time turn on a dime. The night becomes the day. The hands of time are quite divine. Hear what the winds say. When will you get back home? How long will you roam? The cards across the table to see what does the future hold for me. Cups of wine and abundant times lay there patiently, beckoning me into the sea. The hands of time turn on a dime. The night becomes the day. The hands of time are quite divine. Hear what the winds say. When will you get back home? How long will you roam? When will you get back home? And call this life your own. Call this life your own. Call this life your own. Stop to think of the rocks under my feet. Cups of wine and abundant times lay there patiently, beckoning me into the sea. The hands of time turn on a dime. The night becomes the day. The hands of time are quite divine. Hear what the when will you get back home? How long will you roam? When will you get back home? And call
right. Turned into a little jam sesh there at the end.
Yeah, how about
That
that?
was gorgeous.
I loved it. I was telling somebody, it reminded me a little bit of Yeahs, a little bit like vocally.
Nice.
I liked it.
Thanks. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dave, you
I
want to
love
say hello
how
to
the
Bob?
vocals.
Gentlemen.
Hey, Pablo.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Pablo.
Thank you. Sorry,
All right.
I should have prepared to log in because I failed like 5 times. So.
Oh, you're doing fan-freaking-tastic, bro. We got your songs queued up.
Yeah, I
we
was
are
just
ready
gonna-
to blow and blast.
Hey, Randy.
What's up,
Very
man?
cool. I was just going to say, Deidre, I love how your vocals blended into the synthesizer and then into the solo. That was really cool.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, again, that's Drew's production mind at work. I mean, he really comes up with some cool ideas.
That's
Way
one
to
of
go,
those
Drew.
songs where he has just sort of that little keyboard part that's in there, the real dreamy part that goes up there and then takes off toward the end. That was just serendipity. Drew just kind of came up with that. In fact, if you sat him in front of a keyboard, I don't know if he could play it exactly the way it did. So it was just like this little bit of magic came out. Boom, there it is in the track.
Moment of
Well,
brilliance.
did a fantastic job. All right, so everybody joining us in the chat, Worm Suicide, established 1996, Austin Punk Gods, catch them on Bandcamp with the handle Worm Suicide. New record, The Thing That Died, is out now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
In case you need to see
Worm
what it is.
Suicide right there.
That's neat.
Well, it just happened to be here. That's weird. Nothing to see here.
We got a very,
Nice.
got a very Austin-centric episode today.
Hey, Dave, I want to jump in here real quick. So I just happened to be in Austin last weekend, catching some bands, and ran into Pablo. Actually, I missed their first show, which they were playing with Skate Nigs and MOD at a show. Hey, there we go. There's Zach. And so Pablo, I see him afterwards and start talking to Pablo, and he goes, "Hey, we're playing tomorrow at this other show. You should come see us." And it was one of the most amazing shows I've seen in a long fucking time. I mean, high energy, fun, punk. You can laugh, you can cry, you can fucking kick your dog, man. It's everything wrapped into one. So without further ado, man, my new friend Pablo and Zach from Worm Suicide.
Yes.
That's a great intro, Randy.
Thank you, Randy. It was good meeting you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
Oh, yeah.
That he didn't get to see us, so I was like, you know what? There's a free show. You're still in town. I got an idea, and he got to meet the guy who sets up the shows, so maybe he can jump on one of those. So he's got his info. They got his info. So maybe we get some raid playing with us over at the Met.
Hell yeah. Man, tell us what you do and how you do it, because I got to tell you, like I said, I saw a lot of music there. I've seen a lot of music here, and it was fun, man. It was a lot of fucking fun, and that's what we need. We need a jolt of energy in the scene. So tell us how you got started and what you do, man.
Well, we started in like I said, 96, so we've been doing it for a long time. But there's lots of punk, a lot of the charged political punk, the Mohawks, etc. But that was never like really us. We did a little bit of oi, a little bit of punk, we did a little hardcore. But as we went and progressed, we started seeing that. I mean, we weren't that serious of a band. We liked bands like the Meatmen and G.G. Allen and some like sillier stuff. So we started letting our humor show through a little bit more, and it's just kind of worked. We played with some of we played with the Exploited. We played with Blaze Bailey who used to sing for Iron Maiden. So we played with just totally different kinds of places, and we always fit in.
Well, shoot, I've noticed y'all have been busy. Y'all recently played shows at Metropolis Apartments, Kick Butt Coffee, RIP Coffee, Lucky in Love Tattoo. Do y'all just like find and take over these venues like a bunch of lawless pirates? Or do you peaceably waltz into these healthy establishments and annex their territory like a bunch of corporate pirates?
Yeah,
this is purely for tax purposes, by the way.
Yeah, like we can only say so much, but we've been fortunate enough that when we really started hitting Austin hard, we were doing like in 2014, 15, we were doing like 80 shows a year and still working full-time jobs. But as we played more and more, we got invited more and more to the shows. So we've been able to jump on all these totally different venues through invitation. So once we get in there, then we're like a leech and we don't let go. So yeah, we're gonna suck the life out of that place. I think Scott just jumped in. I can't see. Scott, you here?
I'm in, yeah.
That's Scott. Me and Scott are the two original members since 1996. And that's Zach. Zach's been in there for like 4 years.
So, is there a lot of crossover between genres? Have Red and the Rebels and Worm Suicide ever come in contact before tonight?
I don't remember that name being on a show we played. We play a lot, so if we have, sorry.
I don't think we've ever been on a bill together. We have played with a couple of punk bands. It was,
but
going on
like I said, we
3 years
meet
ago.
people all the time. We haven't played with Randy, but we will. And we haven't played. I don't think we played Red, but we will. If you want, let's go.
Yeah, I'm down.
Hey,
can do just do the
John
twitch
Lennon
up on
said,
the
"Come
audio
together."
here.
Is everybody there in Dallas? Is that Dallas? Is that what we're talking about? Is that where the podcast is out of? Or is it around?
Well, technically, sure. I mean, we are North Texas, but I mean, we're mid cities and we're on the outskirts. We're not Dallas proper.
Oh yeah. We don't get in Dallas too much. We've done a little bit, but it seems harder to squeeze into those venues that for some reason. But it's probably like that anywhere. We just haven't made the right connections to do Dallas as much as we want to.
We got Randy now, right there.
I gave Deidre and the gang a couple hookups. I will say for Worm Suicide, I think some good venues that y'all should check out would be Reno's Chop Shop in Dallas. I would say Growl Records in Arlington.
If I keep muted or something, am I losing y'all?
No, we hear you just fine.
Okay,
good. Dave Jarvis is talking.
Oh, hey, Dave.
Yeah. No, no, you're good. I was just throwing out venues that I think would. Yeah, I was just throwing out venues that I think would work well with your genre, as well as Halton Theater in Haltom City. Yes, I am.
Oh, appreciate that.
Don't worry. What I say is true, and from the heart.
Another thing you can do, Pablo, if you're looking to book shows in Dallas, Fort Worth, is just hook up with the bands. Hit up the bands. Ask them if you can get on the show with them.
Yeah, we got some.
There's booking agents. Here you have Torch Entertainment. It's a booking agency. You have Silly Goose is a booking agency. You just hit them up. They'll put you on a show.
Yeah, we're friends. We got some friends like in what's that right next to y'all? Is Denton?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got like the Hen and the Cox and the Wee Beasties. So we got friends in the area.
I think you guys would do great at Rubber Gloves up in Denton. I mean, they got MDC and those bands running through there. So 3 Links in Dallas.
Yeah, there you go. You're already plugged into the source right there. That's Randy Roy of the band Raid. He knows every goddamn fucking club in Dallas, Fort Worth, and surrounding areas. So you're good to go, Pablo.
Good deal. Yeah,
it is time for Worm Suicide, says Raid's Randy Roy.
You got any queued up, man, so we can hear what we're witnessing?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of there's a few different songs. I didn't know which one to start with. They're all so good.
Well, thank you for
Fell
that.
out. Oh no.
Is everybody ready for this?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
This is Worm Suicide.
And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. Now everybody's mad at me. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. They're calling the police. Was playing chess with a grandmaster. Next move was a total disaster. Stood up to leave my lesson learned. I lost my king in just 3 turns. Got beat down. It's open season, and I was on TV for some reason. Ripped my pants, it was a plan when I stood up to shake his hand. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. Now everybody's mad at me. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. They're calling the police. I went to an NBA basketball game. I entered a raffle and they called my name. Invited me down at halftime to shoot a half-court shot from the center line. 20 grand is what I'd win if that basketball would just go right and toss the ball. Missed with ease, my pants had dropped down to my knees and my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. Now everybody's mad at me and my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. They're calling the police. Went to a wedding, was a really good time. The groom was a really good friend of mine. Had a fresh tux and I got a tan. Forgot to tell you, I'm the best man. Wedding's over, the party's going. Time for my speech, my nerves are growing. Champagne in my hand in the middle of all. Raised my glass and my pants did fall. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. Now everybody's mad at me. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. And my dick fell out. Now here comes the police.
Yes, yes, I fucking love it. Yes.
That's art.
And my congratulations to the ladies, of course.
That is highbrow art, sir.
My congratulations for the ladies for being tough, hanging in there with the guys on a song like that.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. My dick doesn't fall out, so can't relate.
We've
Can't relate.
We've had girls singing my tits fell out, so you can do both.
It's versatile.
Yeah.
I want the T-shirt. Fuck it.
Let's go. That's based on a true story.
Oh, okay. We gotta hear the story now. You can't just say it's based on a true story and not tell the story.
No, it's not as dramatic as anything, except somebody in my band who plays drums was talking to us about a thing that happened while he was playing and his boxers ripped, like during a brutal. But he was clothed, but everything kind of flopped out. So we were talking about that in practice, and then we started singing "My Dick Fell Out" to. Actually, it was to the Ramones.
I think it was a Ramones song, yeah.
Yeah, so we started kind of writing this like we were just gonna rewrite a Ramones and just have this silly song, and then Zach had gotten over, and then we changed it up to be what you hear there. But yeah, so it was based on the truth, and then extended into our nonsense. But we write very catchy nonsense, so. You're going to have that earworm for a while, which is good. Oh, no.
I love it.
Love it.
So do you have a name, an alter ego name for your stage persona? Because I noticed that you looked a little different on stage than you do tonight. You had some nice glitz and glam and
yeah.
upside down crosses and
Yeah, and it just our stuff just got bigger and bigger. Like as far as when we were first playing, just normal T-shirt, and then I started wearing a sweatband, and then people were telling us like, "Hey, that's not cool, sweatband." So I started wearing a pink sweatband, and they're like, "That's not cool." So then my girlfriend got me this pink vest, and they were like, "That's definitely not cool." So then I got the pink mask. So everything they were telling us not to, like telling me not to do, I just started doing. And then recently we switched to sequins because that's also not very punk rock, but it is, and it looks awesome on stage. And if you're doing a stage show, you should look the part, right? So we looked the part. I was wearing sequins and we played with the Exploited. So like the shit works, I guess.
I mean, like, who doesn't feel good like when you're like all shiny on stage? And,
Right.
I mean, that's why I wear it. It fucking feels great.
Yeah, I used to have the one with teeth on it, but I retired this one.
Hell yeah, I love it.
It almost looked like it had marshmallows on there for a second. Maybe I'm just hungry.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's a you thing.
Maybe I'm just hungry. Oh, it's tea.
Yeah.
It's fake tea.
Yeah, so that made it into the Green Jello album.
Look, y'all, the beast is in the chats. These instances are so specific. Good to see you, Beastly.
What up, Beat? Warhog, Dallas, Texas. Hey, speaking of that, real quick,
Jennifer.
While we were down in Austin, we Sunday night we caught the finals for the Texas finals for Vakken, and Warhog played last. They did a wonderful 20-minute kick-ass set. Not sure that that's what Vakken was looking for, but I know that they tore the fuck out of Austin at Come and Take It Live, and so that was another cherry on top after Worm Suicide just fucked my brain, man. It was awesome. MOD, fucking Skate Nigs, Worm Suicide, Warhog, all in Austin. Come on now.
Skate Nigs, they we got I got it on their album. I do a track with them on the new album, so we've been friends with them for a good while. They're fun.
We played with them in Dallas at Reno's, where we'd love to get you guys into.
Reno's Chop Shop.
That's it, man.
Yeah, I think we played there just once a long time ago with, man, damn, I don't even know who we played. I know Brutality was there, but I don't remember who else we played with. But yeah, that was a cool spot.
Yeah, there was a night that our old bass player took some bad meth and like threw up in the bathroom or something, I believe.
What the fuck?
No,
hey, we've all been there.
No,
you might have bought it there.
He got some bad coke, not meth.
Okay. Well.
Oh, he definitely bought it there.
Same thing.
Come on. He did, and then he destroyed that little bathroom they have. He threw up into everything, and so nothing worked.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no. It was that was a good time. He was fine.
I hope so. I didn't hear a death in the story, so that's good.
You said former bassist.
Unless you're holding out on us.
He
might have been one of the reasons. I mean, no big deal.
Yeah, he went on to bigger and better. How about that?
Sure.
That's why we got Zach.
I gotta say, it's really cool that y'all have such a thriving coffee house scene that will allow heathens to break their stuff and also get a venti latte.
You should check these like come down and check them out. Like when we first hear it, like I mean, at a coffee shop we played with MOD, we played with Sloppy Seconds at a different coffee shop, but it's big enough to host the Queers and Sloppy Second and Murder Junkies.
Yeah, Murder
Junkies there like 2 or 3 times.
It cost a lot.
Is that Killer Coffee?
that one's gonna be at Kick Butt.
Kick Butt, yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys did your didn't you just do your album release there this past weekend? Or?
Yeah. That's where I mean, we played there so much that we had to do it there. But we also just booked with Sloppy, so that's gonna be coming up too. They're playing there. Oh, and they just announced it. Just as long as we're talking about shows, they announced today we're playing with Fear in September.
Ooh.
On my birthday.
Holy shit, that is awesome.
Yeah, so this is but this is like our second time playing with them, and it's going to be just as awesome, if not more.
So, has anybody ever
December,
seen?
Of course, DRI.
Has anybody ever seen the 1983 movie?
That's our regular December show. Is DRI and Worm. Come and take it.
Yes, awesome venue.
Everybody pass out. What happened there?
No, Randy was asking, has anyone seen that 1993 movie? But
1983 movie.
83.
Get Crazy.
Get Crazy?
Get Crazy. Look it up. It's got a host of stars. Lee Ving has a great fucking part in it. He plays Piggy. But it's a very musically inclined movie. It wasn't available forever and ever and ever, and it's available now. But, go check it out. It's got some great music legends in it, and Mr. Lee Ving's in it. So there's your little.
What is that? Which one?
Get Crazy.
Get Crazy.
Get Crazy.
1983.
Dude, Lee Ving is so awesome. I think Lee Ving, I think of either the SNL performance where they played beef bologna, but also Lee Ving was Mr. Body in the Clue movie.
Yes.
Ah, that's funny.
He was also in like St. Elmo, like Streets of Fire, not Streets of Fire. I think he's something in that too.
And Dudes.
And Dudes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, some
Zach,
cool
tell us about
rock and roll trivia. Fear actually had the first nationally televised mosh pit. Just throwing that out there. All right, sorry, Randy.
Oh no, we all know that story, right? Saturday Night Live, and it was hard to find for a long time because Lorne Michaels didn't want that to get out, but the boys from Fugazi or the New York and Washington boys went and fucked that place up, apparently. Great story. Read all about it.
What were you asking? Yeah.
I need to ask about your mustache maintenance because I noticed that you have quite the thing going on there. I did notice that on stage the other night. Do you are you going for that competition they have in Austin? For the greatest beard, greatest mustache.
Might as well.
Wait,
you're on mute.
You're on mute. Unmute yourself.
We can read his lips. Unmuted. Yes.
That's his forehead.
We lost him.
Okay.
Hey, he is actually not muted. I believe his microphone is just not working.
It's okay. Pablo, tell us all about his maintenance.
There we go. Can you hear now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I forgot my. I think my USB cable was canceling out my microphone. Is it working now?
Yeah.
And then he logged off.
Sir. You are
Excellent.
not.
Yeah, I'm out. See you guys. I did my part.
Did you?
Oh, but
you banned him.
yeah.
Okay, maybe
Yeah,
a
no,
little
it's just
Finley and Finley.
Yeah. Finley's having trouble. We don't. He's dead weight to us. He's dead to us.
Oh, it's still not working?
No, we hear you fine. I don't know what he's saying.
Oh.
No, Pablo just lost faith in me.
Say hello.
Listen to your engineer. I will not let you down.
Yeah. Good here.
Engineering? Who's running this thing?
No, the freaks are running the asylum.
This is chaos.
Well, hey, y'all said you played with the Murder Junkies. Did their drummer play naked?
they use our gear. So Jet was pretty stoked about having Dino's wet sweat ass on his stool. So that I think that
we've heard that before.
Well, I think
we think getting a little bottle.
maybe the next one after that, we swapped stools with a different band. So he like so he didn't have to have that wet ass. Yeah,
everybody learns once the hard way.
Yeah, I think we've done 3 with them. We were supposed to do 4, but that's when Merle got his head bashed when he fell off his bike or got hit by a car.
Oh shit!
So they canceled that. I mean, yeah, they had to, but yeah, he had like brain swell, so he had to cancel that whole tour.
Damn.
Yeah. So next time we'll do it again.
I figured they'd roll that fucker out on a stretcher.
Yeah.
Do it anyway.
Yeah. So, but I think they were talking about doing it again. I saw something post up like they might be running some short shows to see if everybody's all right. I mean, I think Dino's getting a little long in the tooth, and he might have some health issues too, so that might kind of be preventing that.
Oh.
I think the Murder Junkies played Mavericks, didn't they, Ricky?
Yeah, Jerry booked the Murder Junkies a couple of times. That's Jerry Warden, my brother, of Elmo Jones Productions.
Yeah, funny story. My band, Dank, we opened for the Murder Junkies, and Merle caught our singer taking pictures of their merch booth, and Merle came over and slapped the phone right out of my brother's hand and broke his phone, and then Hank was like, "What the fuck, motherfucker?" And then Hank, my brother, the singer, he got thrown out.
Whoa.
Well, you know.
That's rock and roll.
You can't spank the Hank, man.
It wasn't the first time that Hank has gotten thrown out, and it will not be the last.
Facts.
More than likely. So, the thing that died out now. How has that record been treating y'all?
It's been doing good as far as like online plays and stuff. We hit like 10,000 plays total.
Nice.
But it's only been out what?
That's total, like all the different things.
But it's only been out how long, Pablo?
January 1 or December 31.
Yeah.
Like there's supposed to be a New Year's Day, but it was New Year's Eve, so now it's the last year's release.
The official record release party was last Saturday, so for all the Austinites out there.
But we have like 5 tracks that we didn't release yet.
So are you saying we don't even know what year it came out?
Well, the album would have come out this year. The CD came out last year, though, because it came out at like 11:30 in the evening on the last day of the year.
Yeah.
And that was a show that we played with. That was MDC. We played with them on New Year's.
Now, these CDs that you speak of, what are these? Are these a lost technology from the long ago?
It is. But it seems to still be. People will still buy them. They just won't use them. They have nothing to play them with. So
Yeah, you can still find them in 90s Ford Tauruses, I think.
yeah. So
I think that's the only place you can still find them.
Yeah, people will still buy them just to give us support, but yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah, I just still Spotify or whatever. Bandcamp. We're free on Bandcamp. Go listen to it.
Yeah, we've done
Those
a
that
video
are on Bandcamp. Check them out. Worm Suicide.
I don't know how many videos have we done for the new songs, or have you done with AI stuff?
Like
4, 5 or 6.
4. And some AI. Some I've just blended a bunch of shows together and used the tracks off of that.
Those did really well. I mean, it's YouTube is always a weird algorithm, but Facebook views seem to be pretty decent on those.
Yeah, we got like a few thousand views on the total with some of the videos we put out. Like the Put It Away video we just put out, that's probably got like almost 3,000 views, which is pretty good for us.
Well, why don't you explain to them the scripted videos or not scripted story stuff that you've done for the record that we've never done before?
With the AI or?
Yeah. I mean, with actual, it looks like a movie type stuff.
Oh yeah, everything's getting better as far as you're able to use. Like I can use our photos as a reference, so we build a character in these videos, so I can dictate what we're doing, and generate it a lot faster. And a lot of people don't like it, and I kind of like that because everybody who doesn't like AI is sitting on an app. You're on Facebook that's just spent like 150 million on AI for their app. So whether you like it or not, you are using it on the daily.
Yeah. What program did you use for the video?
You know what? I'd have to look it up. It's Suno's Music. Sorry, I have so many bad things. Check back in the comments. I'll put it there.
Okay. No, the only reason I asked is my last patient today. He is he works in he's a software engineer, and so he was giving me some tips about some various AIs and things that are untapped potential for like promotions and stuff. So I mean, I know AI is kind of like people are against AI, but in this world where you have to put out lots of promotions and stuff for your stuff, you might as well work smarter, not harder. Just throw that out there.
Don't ask us about our album cover.
Pablo, you put some links in the chat so people can go check you out. Some of the stuff that you're doing right now, just in case they don't, easy enough to just click a link and check it out.
Yeah, we'll drop. Scott might have to do that because right now I've got iPad right here, and if I touch
Scott plays guitar, by the way, and once again, I got to tell you, the place I saw him was called the Metro. And I thought it was the Metropolis, and I thought it was a club. And then I started looking at it, and I'm like, it's like BYOB, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I'm like, apartment complex, and I'm like, wait a minute, where the fuck am I going? So imagine like a slum apartments like that they were about to tear down, and this artist community is just taking over. I mean, bands and all this. So the clubhouse, they have a huge stage out by the pool, and they had free beer from some local brewery that had donated a couple kegs that day, and it was a party.
Randy died. Rest in peace. He was doing good.
All right, check this out, everybody. I was just doing a Facebook search, and it's not the first time I've done a search for worm suicide, but it's the first time this happened. Facebook actually put up a whole blank page.
Oh yeah.
That said, do you need help? It was about suicide prevention. I kid you not. And I had to click through not once but twice to get to this Facebook page.
Yeah,
they're posted in the comments.
They're
pretty sure
they're making sure that they're making sure you're okay.
Are you
well,
okay,
you're in good company with Blow Your Brains Out here.
Are you sure you actually want to listen to this band?
Yeah, are you sure?
We do have another song.
You can't take it back once you do.
Worm suicide
you can do
on
the
Blow Your
video
Brains
Put It
Out.
Away. That would go over good.
I haven't heard anything about anybody getting a suicide prevention notice from Facebook or anybody about
every
us.
single time. I get it
About us?
Oh wait, about you? Yeah, I haven't heard it about any other bands besides us anyway.
Yeah, I definitely just happened to me doing a search for worm suicide and the Devil Club. All right, so there's the link right there on Facebook, and there's the Facebook page. Everybody go over there and say hello from Blow Your Brains Out.
Yeah, please visit us.
Love those guys.
And also, don't forget, catch them on Bandcamp with the handle Worm Suicide.
Yes. We're on all the things. Join us on all the things, and then give us your money. We're trying to get rich over here, and it's just not working out.
Getting rich is hard, man.
Do you have any of the little
So,
figurines that you had at the show that I bought that y'all cast yourself? It's original art that they have at their merch booth that's beyond the typical T-shirt and dildo and pink fucking vinyl. They did have dildos, didn't they? I swear I saw one on their fucking table. That could have been the skate niggas shit, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I got the dinosaurs, the dick dino.
Well, I fucking love this imagery. I have one more song to play before we end the show and go on to the weekly concert calendar. I would like to know what's the inspiration behind the song Daddy Killed a Hooker?
Oh, so originally I wrote that. I did this thing 2 times. It was called the Same Song Compilation. So I was writing the lyrics, and then I submitted it onto Facebook, and like 15 bands did their version of that song without listening to anybody else's version. So that was called Babies Ruin Bands. So then I did it again, and I wanted something equally offensive, I guess. So with Daddy Killed a Hooker, I wrote that, and everybody was given 2 verses, and you were supposed to write your own 3rd verse. So I put that out like 2015, 2016, and we never recorded a version. So I kind of forgot to write a version, and then we finally decided to do it, almost 10 years later. So
Isn't that still on Bandcamp?
It was based on a true story. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Daddy Killed a Hooker, the compilation is on Bandcamp. That's got like 15 bands.
Yeah, listen to all the other bands' versions of it.
Yeah. It's fun. I got to do that again.
I think we're actually the last person to write our version.
Yeah, people have been playing that song for a good while, but their version.
Okay, hey, Pablo and the guys from Worm Suicide, is that song available on this beautiful vinyl, pink?
No, you don't mean that.
Red nipple vinyl?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right, everybody, pick it up. It's called Daddy Killed a Hooker.
There's
and then my dick fell out. For Worm
Again.
Suicide. Love you guys.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Anybody wants to write a version of that song, I can add it to the Bandcamp, so feel free.
You have to write your own third verse.
Jarvis, there's you a project, man, for existential.
There you go. Appreciate it. Eventually, you will pronounce that correctly. But tonight's not that night. However, I would like to ask the same question that I ask of all of our guests when we reach this point in the show. Worm Suicide and the Devil's Club, how would y'all like to be remembered?
Oh man, I would just like to be remembered.
For our good luck.
That's it. I mean, honestly, I mean, we're here for a short time. We're here for a good time, but you know, I want, when we're not around, I want somebody to throw that CD on and then look us up and try to figure out who the fuck we were. You know, like what's this silliness about? And I want them to hear the stuff that we play and go like, oh, this is a good time. And it will be.
Well, fuck yeah, I know we had a great time tonight.
Bandcamp. There's the Bandcamp page, Dave Jarvis.
That's
yeah,
right.
we have like 20,
Worm Suicide is the handle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dave, can I add one thing real quick here?
Of course.
Pablo taught me something. I thought I knew everything about music. I was in the bathroom and they're jamming, and all of a sudden I hear what I think to be an Anthrax song called Got the Time, and I come out and my dick fell out, but I was running, and anyway, so I come out and I'm jamming to it, a little mosh pit going on, and afterwards I told Pablo, I go, dude, that was great, I fucking love the Anthrax. He goes, we didn't do any Anthrax, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, that was Joe Jackson. And I go, what do you mean, Joe Jackson? He goes, yeah, that was a fucking cover song. And so, blow my brains out, man. I fucking learned something new.
Yeah, but his version rips just as hard, though.
It was fucking killer. I went and checked it out. It was great.
And it was like 78, 79, something like that. And it holds up, man. That track slams.
Well, man, you guys are welcome in Dallas any fucking time, man. And we'll get you up
Fuck
here.
yeah.
There.
We're down.
Thanks for coming on tonight.
Do it.
Wonderful. Yeah, man. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you also, Randy Roy.
What we have. Yes, thank you very much, man. All right, let's see what we got on the concert calendar.